They told us from the very get-go that it was all about woke culture. It was not about anything else with this new Doctor Who series. And every instance of the media, every instance of the way they act, just confirms this all the way down the line. So this comes from Bleeding Cool at this point, where they're claiming that the new Doctor Who is now causing waves within LGBTQ culture. Yay. that makes it all worth it for the abysmal ratings. We'll get into this, and we'll tell you another sort of absolutely crazy thing that Ncuti Gatwa is doing at conventions in just a moment. My name's John Delarose, everybody. Please hit the like and subscribe button. We are all about science fiction here, and good science fiction. I am also a science fiction author, and if you're a Doctor Who fan, I would love for you to check out these books here. I've got a full trilogy called The Stars Entwined. Well, that's the first book. It's called The Arishon War. And I'm building a wonderful universe out of this that I think you'll really enjoy. You can grab the full trilogy on ebook, print, and audio. It's all on Amazon for your convenience, no matter what country you live in, which makes it awesome here. And I appreciate you all for reading. It's been an amazing couple months, and I really appreciate the support. That link's going to be in the description below. And I've got a question on books, by the way. I mentioned this on my community tab a while back. But my youngest son is really into the older Doctor Who's, going up through about Matt Smith, of course. And he is interested in reading novels, not novelizations. I know they did a lot of those back in the days, but interested in reading like original novels of new adventures. If you could tell me which ones are the best, if you've read those, I would love a few recommendations for that in the comments too. So thank you guys for helping on that. All right, so here's the interesting woke culture sort of thing. He helped bring babes to the U.S. Now this is pretty cringy, and such a weird SJW woke take on language that is hypocritical, like it always is with these people. So they say Doctor Who has a tendency to influence culture in unexpected ways, aside from inspiring many kids to become actors, writers, filmmakers, scientists, and mathematicians. Oh, how nice. Not anymore, because it's not a science fiction show. In the UK, it's very common for jokes to involve scarves or Daleks. The former showrunner Stephen Moffat introduced the term timey-wimey in the series. Now is a common term in science fiction circles and storytelling and various other TV series, most recently heard on Star Trek Prodigy. By the way, Star Trek Prodigy is excellent. Just as an aside, I really like that show. Netflix picked it up for a second season. It was canceled after 3. Good science fiction exists, and it's over there. Even though that's like kind of a kiddie show, they do it right. And so I'm trying to promote that everywhere I can. Not associated with those guys at all, but I do like it, and I like good stuff getting attention. I know that's not getting a lot of attention. The most interesting latest effect of the series is in the LGBTQ community. Oh, the glorious, prized community of all communities in America is now saying babes to address each other. Doctor Who has always had such a big fan following in the LGBTQ community, and Gatwa's new season as the Doctor has driven up that fandom, including in the U.S. Now, if you didn't watch this season, it was filled with absolute cringe all the way through. They actually dialed it back for a lot of the middle episodes because, they know they're going to just like pack that woke punch, especially at the very beginning, and try to at the end too. But this is what they did. They immediately started making the Doctor really fruity. He started wearing skirts and blouses, as you see here, and in order to look more effeminate. They completely emasculated him as a character. He runs around crying and complaining, never actually solves things. And, of course, they talked about lesbians the entire time. He loved doing that. He tried to encourage Ruby Sunday to get into a lesbian relationship in one of the episodes. It was very weird. Of course, they pushed the transgender thing quite a bit. The Maestro with Jinx Monsoon was one of the episodes where it was very, very creepy. In the first one, the Church on Ruby Sunday, a lot of people forgot that they put some weird lesbian singer or transgender singer who is one of quote Ruby's friends just kind of in the background as well. And then they brought back the trans Rose for the final finale. Now, the worst element of this, of course, was when they had the Doctor just stop the episode, not actually try to solve anything so he could go dance and make out with some dude, because that's what the doctor does now, apparently. They turned it into Russell T Davies's pride parade orgy fantasy running through the streets of San Francisco. That's exactly what this season's become, and everybody tuned out as an effect. It's got the lowest ratings in Doctor Who history. Maybe the only people who are watching are the LGBTQ community at this point, because that's all they courted. A little 3% of the population. That's what they wanted, so that's what they got. They told everybody else that you're bigots and to go touch grass while they didn't bother with any good science fiction storytelling whatsoever. They just did this crap. So Gatwa, the 15th Doctor, has been calling Ruby and various people babes as a term of endearment, the same way many people say dude. Yeah, I found this cringy and weird. And by the way, if it was a straight Doctor, if it was a David Tennant doing this, being like, hey babe, to Martha and to Rose and to Donna Noble, there'd be quite the opposite reaction. They'd say that he's toxically masculine and demeaning women by referring to them as babe, because that's that they view that as a demeaning term. And it goes to show that they're like, the way that they make language is totally meant to just be a psyop on you, the normal person. They control language. They tell you what's appropriate and what's not. When you do it, it's not appropriate. When you don't do it, it's okay. It all started with the N-word, right? I mean, let's be honest. The N-word, Ncuti, right? Oh, gosh, we'll fix this in edit. Anyway, they started it with that, where it's like, all the rappers say it in all their songs all the time. It's cool when they say it. It's awesome. That's edgy. It's what makes them them. But if you said it, you'll get canceled and never be able to work again, right? So if you go in around the office and called your female coworkers as a man babes, you again would get hit with a sexual harassment lawsuit and never work again. But when the gays do it, it's great. You see how this, it's always a double standard, and how they celebrate everything. They fly it in your face. They say the attempt here is to say we are untouchable. We can do whatever we want because of our identity, and we're going to flaunt it in your face. It's privilege. It really is at the end of the day. And then they act like you have privilege and they're oppressed. It's such a weird psychological shit show that they forced upon our society. And the only way to stop it is to just not care, not give these people power, and not worry about what words they tell you are offensive or not, because that's really the only way you can have power and stop it. That's it. Unfortunately, you got to kind of risk losing your job for that kind of thing. It's such a shitty cancel culture world we live in. Sorry, that was my rant. That's babes plural instead of singular babe, and it's commonly used to address one person at a time rather than several. It's also the reason it's plural instead of singular is also like a push towards the they them, right? Because they is a plural term. It means a group of people. So when you refer to a person singular as they, it doesn't make any sense. And it's again a weird manipulation of the gender shit. Members of the LGBTQ community in the UK have been calling each other babes since the 80s, but since then, everyone under the age of 60 has been saying it to each other regardless of gender. British couples have been referring to each other as babes, teens and 20-somethings. So here's what's interesting. Gatwa's really just made this a cultural icon, but it's been done since the 80s. So again, all these people claim credit for everything. They act like it's year zero and they're these great, amazing visionaries, and yet they're just copying things that have been done since the 80s. And they have no originality whatsoever. Yeah, it's just so obnoxious. Everything they do is obnoxious. And then they fly it in your face like being like, we're just the cultural leaders. But they're not. And so I guess Gatwa was also at a convention coming very, very soon. I don't know if you guys are going. Probably not. And here you are, London Comic Con. You can get a standard autograph from Ncuti Gatwa for £125. Woo, that's steep. You can photo shoot for £95. So there you go. And then you can just say hi to Gatwa for £20. Yes, that's right. If you just want to say hi to this, you're going to have to pay £20 for the privilege to do so. So I guess he's going to rake in that cash from the LGBT community while he can. We'll see how many people are in line. If you're at this convention and you go, leave me a comment, drop me a line, and let me know how many people are actually there. I know that that's one thing I wanted to know was they put these last episodes in theaters in the UK, and I was calling on my audience to be like, hey, can you tell me how many people actually were in the seats on there? And the messages I got were, no, we're not going. So I don't know who actually went to it. And it'd be interesting to know who's actually going to these conventions too. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Leave a comment down below with what you think. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to check out the Stars Entwined in the description below. Grab this epic trilogy right now. I really appreciate you guys for being there. Hit the like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.